Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On today's tutorial, we're making this sweetheart bustier from the trouser. Flip, thrift. Oh my god, thrift, flip. Let's do this. We'll be using our basic bodice pattern. You trace your basic bodice pattern onto another pattern paper. If you haven't seen this video, I'll put the link in the description so you go and check it out. Really only need from the chest downward, but I'm just doing everything, so yeah, I'm using my tracing weight to make the lines more visible. After that, I'll use my marker to make the lines more visible. So the tracing weight gives it like a dotted line that you can trace and follow. So I'm going down by ½ inch on my chest line. If you want it more revealing, you can go down by 1 inch or 1.5 inches, your choice. I'll be cutting the shaded part away. On your new chest line, you're going to take ½ inch on both sides of the dot line. Will make it more fitted. On your bust line, you're going to go down by ½ inch, then connect the dots. Now we are going to do under bust tightening. You're going to take the remaining parts from that underbust and divide it on your underbust darts. You're going to divide it equally. Just see what I'm doing in the video. The remaining parts was 2 inches. I divided it equally, 1 inch on each side. I'm going to cut it out. You can see that it's already giving you that shape, the bust effect shape, I'll just go ahead to label it so I don't make any form of mistake. If you remember the way we did our basic bodice pattern, the front and the back are not the same. So we have to close up the bust darts to make it the same length. Please, dears, just do as I do in the video, and you'll be fine. Promise. That's literally all for the front. As you can see, it's not even difficult. That's all. So the back, people. Same thing you did for the front, you do for the back. The only difference is that we are going to be tracing out from the chest line on the back, and we are going to be ignoring the zipper allowance and the dart. For this tutorial, we are going to be cutting from the bust point line, but I'm just showing you in case you want to put a sleeve, you can cut from the chest line. Please guys, take note, for sleeves you're going to trace from the chest line, while without sleeves you're going to trace from the bust point line. This tutorial I'm ignoring the armhole curve and we're just going to trace from the bust point, because I made that silly mistake and it wasn't even funny, honestly. Now for where the eyelet is going to be, we are going to minus 1.5 inches from the back to give it that small opening effect at the back for the loop. The different back, you can leave the zip or you can do like a shared back, just times the back measurement times 2, then you share it with your elastic thread. That's it. The initial plan for this video was a shared back, but the fabric would not even let me, so I just had to switch. That's all the piece you need to make this beautiful outfit. As my thrifted pants, I'm just going to loosen it up, use I didn't even use seam ripper, I actually just used scissors because I was not that patient. So just do what you have to. One of the advantages of being size extra small is you don't need so much fabric, and that's just one of the advantages of being a slim girl, you know. You're going to place your pattern on your fabric, then you add half an inch on every sides of your pattern. Just watch what I'm doing in the video. For the hemming allowance, you can add 1 inch or 2 inches. This is just the middle parts of your bustier. You are going to repeat the same for this piece, but the only difference is that you are going to add 1 inch for sewing allowance on the side. Make sure to notch the underbust line and the bust point line as well, so you don't make any sort of mistake. So I made a mistake. You just need 2 pieces for that back. If you follow the pattern, you're going to be just fine. The straps I ended up using 15 inches long and 3 inches wide. Those are all my pieces. You need 2 pieces for the straps, 2 pieces for the sides of your bustier, or 1 piece for the middle and 2 pieces for the back. Please guys, 2 pieces for the back, not 1 piece. Remember I told you the initial plan was to do a share at the back, but the fabric wouldn't let me, so I just had to change the whole thing. That's why I redid the pattern from the beginning. Don't forget to notch, guys, notch. So I went ahead to iron an interfacing for my bustier because I wanted it to give a bit of volume, and I also cut the lining the same way I cut the front. I only needed lining for the front and not the back. I cut the lining the exact way I cut the front pattern. I'm just matching up the notched area to pin it down. You see why you need to notch? It's actually easier to notch. So for the sweetheart neckline, I had to fold it, then I went down by 1/2 inch, then connected it to the top part like you see in the video. You can actually just even sew it all before cutting out the sweetheart neckline. Pin it all up before sewing is easier that way. So whatever you do for the main fabric, you do to the lining as well. I've gone ahead to sew it on my sewing machine. You can do the same. Make sure you iron it after sewing. You can use your hand for the pointed part. That's what I was saying you could do. You could actually sew it all up before you cut your sweetheart neckline. What I did here was that I went up by 2 inches, then I slanted it towards the center front, so I could get that shape. If you don't want that shape, then you don't have to slant it. Make sure to do the same thing for the back as well, and also do the same thing for your lining. You're going to pin that all up before sewing so it doesn't move around. I'm just going ahead to trim my lining. I also notched the joint part of my bustier so it won't be bulky when I turn it and iron. I'll be joining the sides of my straps so I'll be able to turn it inside out when I'm done sewing. After pinning, just go ahead to sew the two straps, then you turn it inside out. Whatever you do to the left side, make sure you do the same to the right hand side, and make sure to iron as well. So we're going to put the straps in between the lining and the main fabric so the joining does not show outside. So it's more like sandwiching it. You're going to sew it all the way around, leaving the side open, like 2 inches on the side open, so you'll be able to turn it over. Make sure you don't sew on the straps. Make sure the straps is in between the lining and the main fabric. I'm done with that. I'm just going to notch it all the way around so it's not bulky. I'm going to turn it to the right side now, so that's why you need the 2 inches opening at the side. After turning it to the right side, make sure you iron it like crazy. For this particular bag, just place your pattern you already cut onto your fabric, add 1 inch on the side for sewing allowance. That's it. Remember when I said I made a mistake? This was the mistake I was talking about, and I'm going to explain it better later in the video. If you have removed your 1.5 inch from the back before, do not do the same thing because it's going to be so wide. If you have a serger, just serge it and fold it once, because what I noticed was that it was really thick, and when I was using the eyelet plier, it wasn't that easy. So I made a terrible mistake. So when you're doing your pattern, you're supposed to start from here. You're supposed to bend it from the bust line here. From here to here was supposed to be my pattern, not from here to here, but from here to here. Well, so sorry guys. So yeah, I have to cut out this place, and I also have to cut out this place, and the back is not as open as I want, so I'm going to join this one here this way. You see, if you have your zipper allowance, you're going to minus 4 inches instead of 2 inches from the opening. So here, okay, now I think it's too much. If it was with sleeves, then this would have been fine. This would have been fine. If it was with sleeve, this would have been great. But without sleeves, I'm going to do this one. Wow, I'm so sorry guys. So that's it. I'll be using my 2-in-1 eyelet plier to punch my hole. I'm just taking the distance where I want to place my eyelet, and I'm taking 1.5 inches. So I'll be using bias for my rope to lace up the back, and I'll be folding it in two to sew it all the way down. I didn't really take a measurement for the rope, like how long I wanted it. You can take a measurement if you want, just do you. I finished it up by joining the straps to the back on both sides, the right and the left. You can measure the distance you want your strap to be from your loop. You can also do the same for the other side. Make sure you sew it all up. After that, you are done and your top is ready. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. If you have any suggestion, please do not fail to let me know, and God bless you. Remember, stay beautiful. Yeah, see you next week.